of influences. I'm just going to wait, okay, for people to join the stream. All right, so thank you so much. Thank you for joining. I'm just going to wait a little bit for more people to join the stream so we can begin immediately. So, guys, so welcome to our live stream for today. So, if you can hear me, please let me know. Okay, so let me know if you can hear me. Thank you, those of you that are giving hearts already. Thank you so much. If you can hear me, let me know. If you can see me, please let me know. I actually forgot to schedule this stream. Normally, I'm supposed to post it earlier. I did not even I did not even know that I did not post it. In my head, I was like, I've posted the live stream. I've scheduled it. So I'll just come up and start. And then just for me to come, I opened my schedule and found out that it was actually not scheduled, but I was already prepared and ready for it, so there's nothing I could do. I cannot go back. So I just need to start the stream anyway. So please let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. I want somebody to just confirm on the chat. Okay, just confirm that you can hear me, you can see me, and then I will just continue immediately. So today in today's stream, we're not going to be wasting a lot of time. Yes, we're not going to be taking a lot of time. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to cut that top on the thumbnail so you can see it. So it is a small top that is like a basque top with a small cap sleeve, just almost like what I'm putting on like this. But that one, if you notice, that one is like kind of like an off shoulder kind of. Okay, so let me know if you can hear me. I just need somebody to confirm, please confirm if you're on the if you come up, just let me know so that I can continue, because I cannot be talking to myself and then people are not hearing. So just need somebody to confirm. My regulars, those people that used to follow me on the stream, so let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, so we don't waste so much time on this stream. So please let me know. You can see that I'm talking, so I need somebody to just come up and confirm that you can hear me and that you can see me. Okay, so immediately I get somebody to confirm on the chat, I would continue. Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Please let me know, please. I really want to know if you can hear me. So those of you that are staying on the stream, please let me know. Just confirm. Okay. Normally, what I normally do, like I said, I would have scheduled this. So in today's, we're going to be using our free hand. So we're not going to be using any pattern. We'll use free hand to do our drafting today. So let me know, those of you on the that came up, if you can hear me. I hope everything is set for this. Okay. So we're wasting so much time. I just pray that everything is okay. That those people that you can hear me. More people are joining the stream, but I'm not getting any confirmation. So I'm not getting any confirmation. So we're going to start anyway. I just pray that you can hear me, that the stream is not. So I'm just trying to mark a line here. Okay. Yes. So those of you that are even saying that are putting hearts, thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much. So I'm trying to just add lines on my pattern. So that is what I'm trying to do. I hope that this chat, I enable everything before I started. Okay, so now let's just continue. Let me hope that the chats are open. I just super chat, live chat, all messages, live chat, and all messages are visible. Chat, hide all chat. Okay, okay. All right. So guys, so let's just continue. I just hope that you can hear me and see me. So let's continue straight into our stream. So as soon as you come in, just say hello, say hi. And so I'm going to put some lines on my I'm going to add some lines on my fabric. Okay. So if you have questions, you can ask your questions. So the first line I'm putting here is my bust line, which is 10 inches. So I'm just going to mark it like this. And then the next line is my under bust line, which is 13 inches, like you can see. And then the next line I have here is my waist measurement, which is 17 inches. Okay. So I have 17 inches. Yes. Okay. So now, guys, now we are going to the first measurement we are going to use now. What we are going to, so you can see all of my lines on my pattern. Okay. So, like I said, we're using our free hand today. So I'm just marking it like this, and then I'm marking it straight. Okay. Yes. So, guys, so the next thing we're going to do, so I'm trying to just make sure that I check here to make sure. Okay. So now the next thing we're going to do now, we are going to add our measurements. Okay. Okay, so we're going to add our measurements. Okay, so the first measurement we're going to add, even though it's an off shoulder, but there's a way I want to do it in such a way that you will, when we are done, we'll cut off the off shoulder part. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to add our, sorry, we're going to add our shoulder measurement. Okay, so for the shoulder measurement, I'm using 14 inches for my shoulder. So when I divide 14 into 2, I'm going to have 7. So I'll mark my 7 inches here, and then I'll add 1 inch for stitching allowance. So from this point, so if you are just coming in, you're welcome. So from this point, I'm going to come down by 1 inch like this. Okay, I'll mark the 1 inch at that point now. And then when I mark that 1 inch, I'm going to connect that 1 inch into the shoulder area like this. Okay, so when I connect that into the shoulder area like that, the next thing I am going to mark half of my armhole measurement, and half of my armhole is 8. My full armhole is 16, half is 8. So I'll mark it like this. So those of you that are giving hearts, thank you so much for giving hearts. You can drop a comment on the comment section. Let me know where you're watching from. So from here, I'm just going to mark this like this way. And then after marking it, so I've like marked my armhole, and then I'll measure half of the armhole of that 8, which is 4. So I'll mark that 4 inside like that, and then on this 4, I'll come in by half of an inch here. Okay, so once I mark it that way, that is just to serve as a guide. Okay, so from this point, I'm going to add my bust measurement. Before that, I add my bust measurement. Okay, let's just leave that. We'll come back to that. Okay. Yes, so let's just create our curve like this for our armhole. Yes, so let's create our curve this way. So the next thing now, let's take out our dart. So for the dart, I'm going to use my bust span measurement for my dart. So my bust span is 7 inches, so I'll add 1 inch to it. So I'm going to have 8 inches. So when I have the 8 inches, I'll divide that 8 into 2, and then I'm going to have 4. Okay, so 4 inches. So for those of you that are just joining us, I hope my charts are working. I hope the charts are working. So I'll mark that 4 inches. If it's not working, that means this class will have to repeat it. So that 4 inches, you can see the 4 inches. I'm just marking it across all of my lines like this, okay? Yes, so you can see it. I'm marking the 4 inches across, and then here like this. So after marking it like that, I'm going to connect this. So like I told you guys, I said today we're using our free hand. So for you guys to know that most times I just used to use pattern just to make everything clear. So freehand, I can still use freehand perfectly well. So I've marked my that. So the next thing now we're going to mark, so it is a bust here. So the next thing I will come to the under bust part. So for the under bust, I want to take out 2 inches for my that. So that 2 inches, what I'm going to do, I'll take out 1 inch. I'll mark 1 inch to this left hand side, and then mark 1 inch to the right hand side. Okay, yes. So now connect this line to this point, and then connect this point to this point. So this line that I connect, I'm just going to mark this line like this, and then I'm going to float it into this middle line, and then this line also I am going to float this. So you guys can just see I'm enjoying myself this evening using my free hand. So from this now, I'm going to curve. So I'm trying to create a curve. I'll come to the shoulder area. So for the shoulder area, I'll take out 1 inch to the right, and then half inch to the left. Okay. So you guys can see what I'm doing. So this half inch that I took, I'm just going to mark that half inch now. You can see I'm blending it into this. And then this 1 inch like this, I am blending this into this point. Okay, yeah. So the next thing, I will take out our full body measurement. I'm really enjoying this. We'll take out our full body measurement. So for the full body measurement, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to mark my bust measurement. So my bust is 36. So I'll mark my 36 here. So before then, let's check. You remember for the shoulder part, so my shoulder is actually 7 inches. Which is 14 inches. So I added 1 inch to it to make it 8. So because it is an off shoulder, I'm going to take out as much as 2 inches from my pattern. So you can see I already took out 1.5 inch already. So that I'm not going to put it back into the allowance because it is an off shoulder. So for this, even though I'm not going to be making use of it because I'm going to cut it off, okay? So let's just continue. So the next thing I'm going to do now for my 36, that's 9 inches. So I'll mark my 9 inches here, and then I'm going to add 1 inch for this cut that I'll cut here because I'm going to lose some inches. And then that 1 inch, I'm going to add about 2.5 inches stitching allowance. So I'll mark it like this, and then I'll come to the under bust part. So for my under bust part, what I'm going to do, I'll come to this point like this for my under bust. So my under bust is 30, which is 7.5. I'll mark the 7.5 divide by, that's 30 divided by 4, that's 7.5. So I'll mark the 7.5 here, and then remember these 2 inches. I'll bring that 2 inches back into our pattern like this, and then I'll add my stitching allowance of about 2 inches also. So you can see, so these two lines now, I'll connect it like this. Okay, so the next measurement we are going to measure is our waist measurement. So for my waist is 34. 34, that's 17. So when you divide 34 into 2, into 4, first of all, I have about 8.5. So I'll mark that 8.5 here like this. And then remember this point. So I'll check what I have here. I have about 1.5 inches. I'll bring that back into my pattern, and then I'm going to add my 2 inches back into my pattern, and then I'm going to do this. Okay. So the next thing now, so if you notice this pattern, I'm cutting the back and the front together. So the next, okay, before we continue, let's continue. So the hip measurement is 40. So that 40, I'm going to mark 10 inches here. 40 divided by 4, I have 10. I'll mark it here. And then I'm going to add just like 1 inch allowance. And then I'll add about, for the down part, I added about 3 inches to it. Okay, so I'll just mark this like this. So now just note, since the front is going to have a basque, the back will not have a basque. the back is normal, but if you want it, let the back and the front have basque, we can do that. So we can actually do that for back and front basque. But if we don't want the back to have a basque, what you will do, you measure where you want the back measurement to be. So most times it's usually between 17 or 18. So that is where you are going to cut your back piece from, okay? So note, that's where you are going to cut your back piece from. So I'll show you guys. So I think that one is more difficult. So the next thing we're going to do now, let's cut out this piece. So cutting out this piece, if you notice, I've not created the basque waistline. So I'm going to cut this way. So I'm just going to assume that my charts are turned off. So maybe I did not set it on my setting because I've not gotten any chart. So I just assume that, okay? So now for the back, like I said, so now I'm going to cut out the back. So for the back, so that's for my back piece. And then for the back, for the front now, I'm going to create my basque waistline. It's a simple process. So from this point, you can see this is where the back ended. So it is from there that I'm going to create my basque. So it depends on how long do I want it to be. Okay, so it's a simple process. So just from that point, I'm just going to curve this like this into this point like this. So if I want my basque to be longer, I'll extend this. So you can see the difference between this front and the back is about 7 inches. So you can see it's about 7 inches. So that's the difference between the back and the front. So if you, in case you want the basque, you want it to be longer, you can decide to, you can use a longer, you can use about 9 inches. Do you understand? So it depends on how long you want the basque effect to be, okay? So now I'm going to cut out my front piece now, my basque waistline. So when you cut it, make sure that both of them they terminate at the same point. So you can see, make sure that both of them they terminate here. So that's for the front. For the back, so now let's cut off. Before we cut off, let's cut off, turn this into an off shoulder, okay? So for us to turn it into an off shoulder, this is what we'll do. Measure this point. So I'm going to use 8 inches for my chest line. So this is my chest line. So the next thing I want to take out, now I want to take out 5 inches or 6 inches for my off shoulder. So this is what I'm just going to mark. I'll mark 6 inches like this, and then I'm going to cut this off. So cutting this off now, automatically now I've turned this into an off shoulder. So now in case I want to make a neckline on this piece, so this is what I'm going to do. Depends, so you remember I took out 6 inches. So it depends on how deep do I want my neckline to be. So in case I want my neckline to be like 7.5 inches, depends on the kind of neckline that I want. So the original piece is like a round neckline. So I'll mark that 7.5 inches here. And then from that 7.5 inches, I'm going to create a curve. So I'm actually trying to create a curve into this point like this. So you can see. So I'm going to create a curve like this. So this is for the neckline. So in case most times off shoulders, the back neckline are usually very deep, okay? Yes, they're usually very deep. So now I'll cut off this point like this. So now I've cut this off. So this is my armhole. So now for this part, now we need to tighten the center part, that's the chest area. Okay, so this is it. So for that part, if you notice, we have not cut that out. So because we need this part to be tight, what we'll do, I'm going to come in by half of an inch on this side, and then this part I'll come in by 0.75 like this, okay? So for this, you can decide if you want to take off 1 inch from it. So most times what I normally do, I normally used to measure my clients when I'm making off shoulder for them. Yes, I used to measure them here to know how much I want my off shoulder to be. You understand? I used to measure this chest area. So now, so you can see. So now I'll just mark that 0.75 on this side, and then I'll just blend that into this point like this. So this will help me to tighten this part. And then the half inch on this side, I'll just blend that into my pattern like this, okay? So this now will help the chest area to 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 be a little bit tighter, okay? Yes, so it will make it to be tight. So now we are done. So now I'm going to cut this off. So before I cut for the back, I'm just going to put my dart lines for my back piece. So you can see this is my back piece. So that I'm just going to extend the dart and then just cut off my dart. So if I want to use 1 inch dart, all I'm going to do for this is I'm just going to mark, just take out 1 inch from my back piece like this. So I'll to run it from the top to the bottom. So when I stitch, it will be firm. Okay. So I'll place that now, and then we are going to cut off the front piece. So you can see I've cut out the front piece. So for those of you that are just joining, you're welcome. So for this, we're not going to be doing any stitching today in today's class. We're just using our free hand to cut, okay? Yes. So for those of you that want to see more freehand, you can drop that on the comment section. Let's see. So I'm trying to cut this off nicely. Yes, so at the end of the day, you can see I'm sweating, sweating, sweating. So at the end of the day, you guys, you can see what we have for our piece. So it's still going to be perfect, as in perfectly perfect. So you can see how it is looking. So when you want to stitch now, when you want to stitch, you are going to start stitching. So after padding everything, you're going to start stitching from the top. You stitch it down, and then you have your basque waistline. So for example, if you want your basque, remember I use 7 inches. If you want your basque to be longer, you can use 9 inches. Okay, so that's for that. So we are done for that. So I'll show you guys how to cut the cap sleeve now. So for the cap sleeve, you just need a little bit of fabric to cut your cap sleeve. So what you put into consideration is this part of your cap sleeve. So this part of your cap sleeve, that's what you put into consideration. That's this part. So most times it is about around 10. That's from here to here. So it's like 10 inches. That's what you use to drop your off shoulder. So that the next thing you put into consideration is this part. So this part, for instance, now my this part is 10 inches. So if you notice scarf sleeve, they are usually not really tight around the down part. So you can increase it and just put like 6 inches or 6.5 inches. You just mark it, and then the next thing you check the length of your cap sleeve. So what I have here is about 6, which is okay. And then the next thing I'm going to mark now, I want to mark, I want to create like an arc. Do you understand? So that arc will come this way. But there's something that I need to put into consideration when I mark it, when I create the curve like this for my cap sleeve. You understand? I need to check to make sure that this part I have up to 10 inches or more than 10. So you can see for this I have about 10 inches. So this 10 inches now, that means I will not pleat my cap sleeve. But if I want to do something that I'm going to pleat, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to open up my hand a little bit, and then I will do this. So when I do this now, so let's check. When I do this, you can see for this I have, so if I put on my fan, I'm sweating, but if I put on my fan, it will be just scattering everything. So that is why. So you can see for this part, I have about 12 inches. So I'm going to show you guys. So like I said, in today's tutorial, we are not going to be wasting so much time. So you can see. So now when you hold this part now together now, you can hold this part and then this part. So I'm going to pin that on my mannequin for you to see. But if you want to use, if you don't want to like pleat this part, you can use your actual measurement to do that. So for this part now, let's see. Let me just bring my mannequin and show you guys. So for instance, now let's see. We want to pleat this one now a little bit. Mm. So you pleat it like this. That's when you want to stitch your. Mhm. And then you pin it down, and then you're going to have something like this. So this part now you're going to use your sew it and turn it. You understand? So you sew this part and turn it, and then this is how you are going to place it. So I'm trying to place it in such a way that it does not. So I'll just use my pins like this to pin it. So can you see? So this part now is the part that will stitch to this. This part now is the part that will stay in your shoulder, and then this one here will stay like this, and then here will stay like this. So can you see? I'm sweating. The sweat is entering my eye. Can you see how beautiful our small chengere cap sleeve is? Can you guys see? So yes, this is our cap sleeve, and then this is our basque top. So like I said today, I wish I could just pin it to our mannequin, but I need to stitch it for us to like pin it. So this is like one side of our dress. This is like one side. Okay, yes. So I'm not going to pin it because I did not stitch it together. So thank you so much, so much, so much, so much. See my this thing is falling apart. My gauge lines for my mannequin. So this is what we use to gauge the bust area. Yes. Make sure that everything is okay. All right. So thank you so much, guys. I'm going to stop this tutorial here for today. So thank you so much. If you find this video helpful, please hit on the like button. I'm so sweaty and I'm just so sweaty. So thank you so much, guys. For those of you that tuned in, thank you so much. I did not like the fact that the chat was not available. So we'll do this again next time. We'll do this again next time, and then I'll make sure that my chat setting is on. So thank you so much for all of you that tuned in. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye. So if you want anything you want us to do on our live stream, you can actually send it to me. Okay. All right. So see you guys.